or the wall, if you don't want to get in the floor, or a chair. See this? So see, if some of you are out there and you're like, I don't need that chair, I would say, fine. You just hold your foot up here like this and do a couple of these with no chair. See that? So you can just continue to, so I've got level 1, or I'm sorry. Level 1 is just stepping forward. Stepping forward. See this? Level 2 is just a little higher. But here, y'all, tighten your tummy in. Drop your shoulders. Get ready to shift. And put your toe level 1, level 2, or level 3. And then on up would be no chair at all. Right? Level 4. Up. And then stay in that supporting soft leg, knee. See that? So some of you are doing this and you're doing really good, but you're hunched. So drop your chin, look at your foot, shift, pick your level. Level 1, 2, 3, or 4. And you do a series at any one of those levels. So if you're getting in at 1 a.m. and you don't feel like exercising, you may just do this. See this? Perfectly fine. But what am I making sure of? I'm making sure that my knee is soft, that my tummy is tight. No, leave it there. That my tummy is tight, my shoulders are down. But maybe I got to bed last night. Maybe I want a real good workout today. Great. Go on up to level 4. Okay? Keep your knees soft. Keep your tummy tight. Keep your shoulders down. See, I'm going and coming. Going and coming. Going and coming with my little tea towel. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I won't. If I'm drifting, you got to change the structure. Hi, everybody, come on. This is Movement Wednesday. I'm exploring the world of I said movement, because I'm pretending that, I'm not pretending, because it really happened, that you went to bed at 1 a.m. and you were on a long flight with a dog. So here we go, and we're getting good basic movements. I'm doing level 4 right now. Some of you may not choose to do that. If you do choose to do that, make sure you're doing it with your shoulders dropped, your chin tucked, your knee is soft, and after I've done several of these, I'm starting to feel like I can move a little bit better. Okay, you go right on upstairs now, okay? Because we've got to do our program, all right? And she's fine. She's going to stay here with me, okay? So this is doing exercise with kids and dogs. Now I'm going to take my tea towel, and I'm just going to take it and put it behind my neck, okay? I'm going to step wide, and I'm going to shift, okay? So now my elbows are down, and it's at the very base of my neck. It's not like in the middle, because I want to drop my chin, shift, no more. Okay, she's going to be fine. You go upstairs and see how Ollie's doing. Go upstairs and see how Ollie's doing. Okay, so now I'm going to shift back and forth, shift back and forth, shift back and forth, shift back and forth, shift back and forth. Okay, and just release your foot. See, just release your foot. Now, if something happened to your elbow, your wrist, your hands, all right, and you can't grab this, then what do? You just put your hand like this and you shift, okay? And you just keep your elbows down, your shoulders down, and you keep your hands back. So this alone, doing it correctly, has the ability to stretch open your chest, all of your rib cage, all of your lungs. And you see, I'm going to come forward now. Now I'm going to go back. So if I hurt my hand, and let's say maybe I can't ambulate, maybe something's wrong with my ankle, my knee, whatever, then I will do this sitting down. I could do the whole thing that I'm doing right now lying down, which I'm going to get in the floor here right after this one. But you see this? I can do the same thing right here. See? Shift, shift. So while I'm shifting, sitting here, and I keep my elbows right in line with the sides of my body, just like where your seam is on your shirt. See my back of my hand, my elbow. Okay, so this was the whole reason that the whole Pilates thing came to be. They found out that if, in fact, people would do these movements while they were injured, so that means they wouldn't engage the injured part, whatever that might be. It might be a hand, right? Right, Kay? It might be a leg, a foot, yeah? Maybe I have plantar fasciitis. So if I'm on the floor, or if I'm sitting and I'm shifting, see, with my hands back here, I'm playing against both sides of my vertebrae. I'm playing against both sides of my abdominal muscles. I'm keeping my chin tucked. I'm keeping my head in line with my ears, my shoulders, my hips. See that? So this little movement beats the heck out of just sitting or laying in bed, okay, and doing nothing. All right? Now, I'm going to put my hands here. I'm going to go down to the floor. Some of us hurt our elbows. Some of us hurt our wrists, our hands. You can't use your hands to get into the floor, right? So you might say, oh, let me just not do any exercise now for 4 weeks while I have my whatever on. My cast, my wrap, my hand hurts. Yes, you need to modify, but it doesn't mean do nothing, okay? So I'm going to pretend that I have something wrong with my hand, and let's say I also injured a leg, okay? Many of us have little things that act up like this, and then we sit there and we say, oh, I can't do anything today. So if you're able to walk around, you're not in a wheelchair, I have something wrong with my hand, let's pretend. I'm going to set up a chair so that I can come here. I have a pad on my chair. I put my elbows here. I turn. See that? And I didn't even have to use my hand that I injured. See that? Then I come down and I go straight into my elbow. Your wrist or your hand or a leg, and you get down, and let's say your hip is acting up, your knee is acting up, your ankle. This stretch right now, oh my goodness, with any of those things going on, you tighten up in your lower back. And a lot of times you don't even realize how tight you are until you get down into a position like this. Let's say, and I want those of you who are able to get in the floor, I hope you're down there right now, and your elbows are tucked under you. You're not using your injured hand, okay? But let's say that I just can't get in the floor, and you're thinking, oh, let me turn this crazy woman off. She doesn't understand my problem. I do understand your problem, but I'm giving you alternatives. Those of you who can get into the floor and say I'm using my elbows, keeping my shoulders tucked, let's say stay down there. I'm just going to show those of you who don't want to get into the floor, okay? You can do this whole thing from the chair, right here, right here, right here. You can do the whole thing, not even getting in the floor, okay? So this is an alternative. Going to a wall is an alternative. I just don't have a wall right here, but if I had a wall right here, I would just push my hips into the wall, and I'd have my elbows on the wall, okay? Those of us who can't get into the floor, we got into the floor without using our injured hand, right? And we were on our elbows, and we were down. Okay, when you're injured, what I just did is huge. And anybody out there that has an injury in wrist, let's say a hand, a knee, a foot, it's a big deal getting down into this position. It's huge. So those of you who have problems getting into the floor, I understand how hard this is. That's why I'm taking my time. I'm showing you alternatives, and I'm hoping that you're trying some of these things out. Now, I've been in the floor. My hips have been pushed into the floor, and I'm pushing down into my elbows. See how I'm lifting my whole rib cage up? Now, I'm going to tighten my tummy. I'm going to take my elbows out, so I'm going to drop a bit, okay? I'm going to pull my heels up, just like this, because I don't want you to go into your toes yet, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my elbows out. Now, I'm going to take one hand, and I'm going to act like I'm going to raise it. See, like a raised hand. And I'm going to keep my chin tucked, and my hips are down, and I'm raising my hand out there. Now I'm going to take my whole upper body. I'm going to touch my forehead to the floor. Then I'm going to come up. See, forehead to the floor, then come up. Forehead to the floor, and come up, okay? If you're doing this correctly, man, you should be feeling your back extensors, okay? Then you come right here and you go back into that hyperextension. It's a gentle hyperextension. And if you've hurt your hand in any way, or you've hurt a knee or an ankle, boy, going into this position, wow, does that give like a relief into your back, because you get in weird positions when you've hurt yourself. You do things different, right? And you create tightnesses. So see, while I'm talking here, you should be in this position with your chin tucked on your elbows. Now go back down again. You're going to put your forehead down, and you're going to take the other hand, raise it up as high as you can, and then lift. And then lower. Lift, and then lower. Lift, and then lower. Lift, and then lower. Lift, and lower. Now go back into the stage from which we moved into that position from, which is a hyperextension in the back. My elbows are under me. I'm not hurting my hand right now. Take a breath. Yeah. Take a breath. The floor. Then inhale and pull in. Exhale, inhale, push the stomach out, push the stomach in. Don't move your shoulders. Don't move your shoulders. Okay, now you're holding it in this position, right? And some of you are like, right now, you're saying, if you really are hitting this position and you're holding it into this position, you should be saying, does she understand how long we've been here? And I would say, yes. That's why it's called Mobility Wednesdays. I'm going to push you just a little bit into positions that you're not used to being in. It's opening your realm of movement. Okay? You ready? See what I'm doing with my toes? I'm pointing and flexing. Yeah, many of us out there, and again, if I were doing this against the wall or sitting on a chair, I could be doing this whole thing. Keep doing just like that, because I'm going to go down one more time. I'm going to take my elbows out. I'm going to put my forehead down. I'm going to take both hands up and then come back down. Both hands up and then come back down. Both hands up and then come back down. Hands up and go back down. The head comes up, and see my hands, because I'm doing them both, I'm not reaching them out over my head. I'm keeping them very bent, and I'm pulling through, and I'm tightening in the gluteals, and I'm keeping my chin tucked, and I'm holding. I'm going to go punch, 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 punch. Then I'm going to bring my legs down. You can either go down and rest, or you can come up again. So what I'm trying to do is to do repeated, very careful back extensions, hyperextensions, a gentle one. This is so good to work for back issues if you control the move, okay? So you have my elbows under me. But if I want to go down and rest, I can just take my elbows out, turn my head to the side, lift, turn my head to the other side, lift, keep my chin tucked, turn and touch my ear to the ground, tuck my chin, turn, touch my ear to the ground. And what you should notice when you're doing normal, I'm not saying it's good, I'm just saying that's how we work. One side is usually better than the other side in movement, okay? So drop your elbows, drop your shoulders, try to get your ear all the way to the ground. Then come up, squeeze your butt real tight, tuck your chin, turn. See, I can get my ear all the way down on one side. When I slowly turn and my see how I'm doing like a perpetual movement? I'm giving it a chance to work through a range of motion to try to get my ear down. And every time I do it, I would drop my shoulders. Drop my shoulders, drop my shoulders, drop my shoulders. Get that ear to the ground. Take a big breath. Now, before I turn on this, and I'm doing this as if I have something wrong with my hand here, okay? That's why I have this wrapped around my hand. Let's say I hurt my wrist, okay, or my hand or whatever. So I'm down in the floor, and I had you bend your knees, right? Right, I had you bend your knees. Now I'm going to put my forehead to the ground, and I'm going to straighten one leg. So I'm going to straighten the leg right here. My forehead's down. Now I'm going to push on my knee on the other and lift with a straight leg. So I'm going to go up, and this is working all kinds of core, tight tummy, push on your knee, lift. Keep your gluteal really tight. Keep your leg really straight. Push, back down, push, back down, push. So you're leading with your heel and your whole leg is very straight. Push on your knee. One more. Here we go. Push and back down. Okay? Roll your ankles right now, back and forth, because that should have made you use a lot of back, stomach, core, gluteal, hamstring. So for somebody that's struggling with a hamstring issue, this would be probably one of my movements of choice for a hamstring work, because it is gentle but very effective in getting you to key in and use those muscles. Okay, so by rolling my ankles and keeping my head on one side, head on the other side, arms down, it gives me a recovery, okay? So that was a rest. So now I'm going to pull that leg up. I'm going to push on the knee. Put your forehead down, breath, lift up, hold, breath, up, really squeeze the butt. Make sure you don't roll on me. Some of you like to roll, okay? I want you to use the weaker hamstring to help with this move. And if you roll, you start turning into the front leg muscle. So you keep that toe headed down. Keep your forehead down, lift, push on the knee, push. I shouldn't say push on the knee. I should say push on the front of your leg there, the one that's bent, see? Lift. And roll your ankles, roll, roll, roll. Turn your head, then turn your head to the other side. Yeah, do both sides. Don't just go to the easy side. Breath, roll, roll, roll. Yes. All right. Now I'm going to roll to the side. Okay? So some of you would be saying, well, what if I don't want to be in the floor, Jeannie? What if I just can't do that one? Okay, this whole thing right here, I could do if I were in bed, number one. I could do this whole thing in bed. So that would be my first choice. So I have this on my hand because I'm pretending that, in fact, I hurt. A lot of stuff that doesn't involve wrist. It does involve the elbow. So I would take a whole different tact if, in fact, your elbow was injured. But here I am on my side. Now, we haven't been in this position. I haven't done a lot of classes where I've put you on your side. Be on my elbow, and let's say I have a shoulder problem and being on my elbow is just not going to happen. Well, you just simply get a pillow, see, and you tuck under, okay, and you do the whole thing like this. See there? You can't just say, I can't do it now. So you're going to be right here, and you're going to take this leg right here, and you're just going to go straight out. Lift with my heel. So see, I'm doing this so that I don't hurt anything in my shoulder or my hand. Let's say where I've injured, I'm going to keep my toe down because that keeps my hip rolled forward. See that? Take a breath. See this move? Yeah? Yep. Keep the toe down. Keep the toe down. You should be feeling it right up in here. Uh-huh. Take a breath. Keep the toe down. Keep rolled forward. And then bring the knee in anytime you start getting too tight. And it will get tight. Then I'm going to take this down and just pull that foot right here like this and then put it down. Let it rest. Okay? Take a big deep breath. Yeah? Now before I go to the other side, I'm going to do a couple other tasks. So I'm going to just lift my outside of my knee, lift it up. See, I could be doing every bit of this from my bed or from the wall. I would just put my hand on the wall. Now I'm doing this because I'm giving my shoulder a rest. Okay? If you wanted to do this whole movement and benefit with strength work, of course, put your elbow down and do this little clammy move, okay? Now, once you're doing this and you're feeling pretty good, check your shoulder. Many of you do this. You push your shoulder up. Get in line right here so that you're strengthening your shoulder girdle, not hurting it. And then quit rolling back. Push forward. Act like I'm back here and I'm pushing you forward. Okay, when you do this kind of a clam move and you don't roll back, you lean in, that's when you really start feeling it through here. And those of us who have hips replaced, knees replaced, wow, we should be doing this like at least every other day. And here's the cool thing. You can do it with a little pillow under your little head. You can do it with your elbow down like I am right now. But you can do it from your bed, okay? This little move, make sure you don't turn and roll your hip back. It's super easy, but that's not what we want. We want to push forward. And some of you would say, well, how many am I supposed to do? So something like this, which is a cross between a fitness and a physical therapy move, I want to try to get to where I can do 3 sets of 10, okay? Now, Kathy's probably, if she's on, going to tell me I've done 40, but I don't think so. Anyway. Okay, I'm just going to say I'm going to do 5 more, all right? Keep your hip rolled forward. Yes, so people that have Achilles tendon problems, plantar fasciitis problems, hip problems, knee issues, this is a very important one to do, but do it correctly, okay? Keep yourself rolled forward. You kind of like keep your ankles together. Don't let those ankles come up. I just corrected mine. Boy, does it make a difference, okay? Take a breath. Well, I think that was 5. Okay. Now, I'm going to go from here to forward. Now, I have all that to do on the other side, right? Yes, I'm whole different class. Just a little joke here. Okay, see how I'm sitting? See my toes are up? That's called dorsiflexion, all right? When you go into dorsiflexion, many of you bend your knees up because you're so tight in your hamstrings. So if that happens to be you, you can't force it, number one. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your knees up, but you do this. See, I don't wanna do that, okay? So widen your whole foot. Don't just go like that. So widen up, hip hinge, drop your shoulders, bring your knees up, but don't go in or out with them, okay? This will help you be able to maintain this. Go into your foot dorsiflexion, okay? So some of you, it's been a long time since you were able to go down and touch your foot, grab your toe, okay? I know, I understand. So again, you can do this sitting in a chair and just put your foot on the side of the couch. That's fine. You can do it in your bed or get down on the floor like we are. See, I'm sitting on my sit bones. For some of you, it's very difficult for you to sit on your sit bones. I understand that. So I want you to back yourself up to the couch. See this? So if you have couches and stuff, man, use them. Use them in different ways, not just sitting your little butt into the into the seat of it. Okay, so see, lean back into the couch. But if you're leaning back into the couch, that is not licensed to round your back. Okay, it's just not. So if you lean into the couch, see, you've opened your hip, drop your chin, say rib cage up. Now your feet are in dorsiflexion. Yeah. Now you're going to go toe, tap, and then up. And then say rib cage up. Okay? Now if you want to really make this use your core, like Pilates are famous for doing, and I say that because it's a whole set of movements that people have been marketed to. And so they understand that, Pilates is doing all these movements. Rib cage up. I'm leaning back, but I'm not using the couch, okay? Because I want to use my core more. Now, if that's not you, if this is enough, then use the couch. So I hope everybody's understanding these modifications I'm giving you. So I'm not using it right now, okay? And I'm going dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Now I'm going to do one leg at a time. I'm going to go out here. This is up. This is up. I'm going to go point. Point, flex. See? Straight leg. Point, flex. Straight leg. Point, flex. And see, I'm letting my heel be on the ground. I'm letting my leg be on the ground. I'm opened back, right? My knee is soft right here. It's bent. I'm going to hang on to that for just a second. Open. Now I'm going to bend this knee slightly. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Okay, tighten, tighten, tighten. Lift and back. Okay, my knee is bent, especially if I have back issues. And if I have back issues, I don't want to push it over the edge because it's going to be using your stomach and back a lot. I want to use my couch. Okay, so rib cage up, soft knee, lift, and come back down. Big effort. Lift, come back down. Breath, Lift, go point, flex, down. Whoa, bring that up, it'll release. Take the other leg down, okay? So everything happens here. Keep the back very extended, whether you're front or whether you're open, okay? So I, again, could be doing all of this, leaning into my bed head in the bed. I could be doing in the floor. I could be doing sitting. Same thing. Sit to the edge, open back, okay? Tighten, rib cage up. Bend the knee slightly. Bend this knee slightly. Bring it up and back, okay? Up and back. Breath, up and back. Use the lean into your bed head or lean into your couch or lean into the chair. But if you want to really work your core, hover or hoover or however you want to call it, above the back rest, wherever you chose. Take a big breath. It's a lift. Now hold it and point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. We'll do it one more time. Take a breath. Rib cage up, open, drop your chin, up, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and back down. Nice. Take a big breath. See, I'm putting both my feet down. That may not be comfortable for you. Keep your knees bent then, but say rib cage up, okay? So now, before we go to the other side of the leg, because we did one side, now we're going to do the other side, but not quite yet. Because here's where we're finding ourselves, right? So in fact, what I'm going to do is called a sit back, all right? It's not a sit up, it's a sit back. A very necessary move if you plan on going to bed. Or some of you just roll into bed, right? You don't go back. Anyway, we're going to explore this movement pattern. It's a sit back. See that? And then I pull myself back up. But here's the deal. I keep extended from my hip. I keep my chin tucked, my shoulders down. If I wanted to use my hip flexors less, I would do this whole sit back thing with, in fact, my knees or my feet up. And I would sit back and then come back up, okay? You get to choose how you want to do it. Some of you cannot do this because, in fact, you have a little coccyx bone that flips out instead of going under. And it's very painful. So what you're going to do is you're going to be on one side of your cheek. You're going to keep your feet down because that's going to be easier for you to do. And you roll into one cheek and you just open your hip and then you pull back up a little and you stay on one side of your cheekbone. Not cheekbone, your gluteal, the actual meaty part of your butt. Okay, so do 3 to 6 on one side. Okay, one more. Breath. Okay. Now go to the other side. Okay, so my knees are soft, my heels are down, my toes are up. I'm reaching over to my other side. I'm going to go back and come back up. Okay. Now, if you were to take this into a typical Pilates type move, as you go back, see, you would extend that leg. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you you have to do that. I'm just showing you the progression. All right. So take a big breath. None of this is done with a flexed back. It's an extended back. I hope you're getting that. And if you need to use the back of a chair, that's fine. Open back. See, this is tight, engaged, right? And then come back up. Use your hands under here. That's perfectly fine. What's not perfectly fine is to be rounding. Okay? And all of this, see, can be done even if I have a hurt hand, okay? Take a breath. So I'm on one side of my cheek so that it doesn't hurt my coccyx or my tailbone. Okay, it's very doable, all right? Then if I wanted to take the next level of core work, if all this is correct, what does that mean? That means rib cage up. That means chin tucked, shoulders down. As I go back, I extend. See? Take a breath, extend. See, I'm rocking and rolling. I'm going from one cheek to the other cheek. Now I'm going to go to the other cheek. Then if you wanted to take even this to the next level, take a big breath. As you go down and you extend, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back. See that? So my back is not flexed. It is straight on. Keep my chin tucked. And I'm going right out here like this. And then if I want to, I would go 1, 2, 3, and 4. See that? Take a big deep breath. Yes. And put your hands right back here. Now, if you've been doing this whole sequence with me, you've been using your back extensors supremely, which is what Pilates is known for. Core, and part of the core is not just here. It's here, okay? It's gluteal, it's legs, it's shoulders, it's everything. So if you've been doing that, I'm going to have you lean back. And we're going to take a recovery. So what do? Because we're fixing to go to our other leg. Remember we did that whole clamming work on our leg? So we're going to go to the other side. So what I'm doing now is called the wave. So what I want to do is keep my rib cage up because I'm in my elbows right now. So I want to keep my rib cage up, shoulders down. See how I'm just rolling back and forth? See, I can do this whole thing on the chair. I can just roll back and forth on the chair, or I can be in my bed doing this whole thing. Big breath, big breath, big breath. So see, I roll through my ankles. I roll through, and I get a great stretch in my lower back, in my gluteals. Nice recovery, okay? Then I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to go to the other side, okay? Here's my little pillow in case I don't want to put pressure through my shoulder girdle. I didn't say hurt my shoulder, hurt my ankle. No. But if you have a problem with putting weight into your shoulder, okay, number one, figure out why. Then we're going to do rehab, right, to get our movement back. But this is part of putting great measured load into your whole shoulder girdle, not just your joint, all right? So keep the shoulder down. If this is not going to work for you, then you get your little pillow. You pull your hand forward. See, and you just do everything from here. So my knees are bent, and I'm going to bring my leg up first, just like that, and come straight. All right, you keep your toe down, keep your knees soft. This knee is bent, okay? Don't keep shunting your shoulder up. Keep it down. Keep your toe down. So this is my hip replace side. Yes, and I am feeling it here, but this is doable. See, if you need to go lower, that's perfectly fine. Keep your shoulder down. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Big breath. Hang on. Keep your toe down. Yes. Hang on. And you can do this whole. Big breath. All right. Look what I did. I corrected. See that? So if in fact my shoulder, my elbow's down, I'm going to stay rib cage up, shoulder down, and it should be a straight line from my elbow to here to my ear. See that? So I don't want to be way out here. If this is too much, then you get your little pillow. Take your arm out of that. Maybe you're going to do half and half. I don't know. So now we're going to do the clam. I'm choosing to do the clam using my elbow. You may want to put your pillow under here and lay down and do it. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that you don't roll, okay? See that? You thought it was R-O-L-L. It is not. It's R-O-W-L, roll. See there? You're learning a new dialect. Okay, ankles together. See, you can't go very high if you put your ankle. If you lock your ankle down, you are not going to lift very high here. That's the point. There's a little muscle right in here, deep into your core. This is a very important move. But get it right. Push yourself forward. Keep your ankles together, okay? Breath. Just do this. I am telling you, those of you that have hips and knees replaced and have had feet problems, I'm telling you, this is a very important move. And at first, when you start doing it, if you're doing it correctly, even if you're doing it correctly, you feel like at first, the first couple repetitions, this is too easy. This is a nothing exercise. Not true. Okay? See, my ankles are together. I can't lift very high. It makes you use your whole hip differently. Breath, breath, breath. Yeah, breath. Hang on. Hang on. Big breath. Keep your shoulder down or take it out completely and put your head in the pillow. Okay, keep the ankles together. You're doing this little tiny clam thing, right? Don't roll. R-O-W-L, don't roll. Breath. Breath. I got maybe, I don't know, 3 more. Keep your ankles together. 1 more. Woo! Okay. Here we go. Right here. Okay? Right here. Take a breath. I'm going to go like this. See, I'm rolling. Rolling. I'm going to rock and roll. See this? Yeah, this is a kind of a move that you have to do. There's a certain little move that you do in a gymnastics kind of setting, and you are doing this rolling. See this? This is something that is a very valuable move to do. And the best place to do it is sitting in your bed or on the floor, because you're not going to fall very far. If you do, get dizzy. As a matter of fact, I hope you hear this. I want you to get a little dizzy. See, if I go like this, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm rolling, and I'm rolling, and I'm rolling, and I'm looking, I'm going to get a little dizzy. You know why? Your whole vestibular system, your inner ear, with your eyesight, with your brain is like pinging all over the place. Because what do we do all day? We're so worried about, falling, which we should be, that we just move in one little mode. That's why I call this Mobility Wednesdays. And I'm doing this one. Too late. We get up. We like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything today. We sit around and we feel like trash. I can tell you, when we go off this morning, if you've really worked through this with me, you're going to feel better, okay? Then you can either go take a shower and go back to bed if you want to, but you're going to feel better because you've moved all through your core, your joints. You haven't hurt your joint. And when you roll like this, and you just bring that hand with you and you really roll, wow. It gets all your vestibular functioning going. Another way is to spin. However, if you're standing on your feet and you're spinning, again, you're going to fall less distance by doing it on the floor, okay? Now, we can take that like this. See this? And I'm going to go ahead and just walk myself around on my little sit bottom, and I'm just going to spin this way. And you may think this is silly. This is not silly. This is going to get you functioning much better. Because if you get used to spinning like this, and you can sit on a pad, you can whatever, so that you can like move. See this? See this? If I go like this around, I'm using my legs, I'm using mobility, I'm turning, I'm doing all kinds of things that's going to help me train my vestibular system, my proprioceptive systems, and I'm doing it on the floor so that I don't chance falling, okay? Now, big breath. So we did a lot of side to side. Now we're going to go through the process of getting up. But before we do that, we're going to keep our knees bent. We're going to come right here and sit back, put our elbows down, roll to the side, grab, pull up. See, I didn't have to even use my affected hand. See, I'm right here. See, I'm going to go to the side, put my elbow down, turn. See that? Then I'm going to come to my chair. I'm going to roll. I'm going to put my elbow on my chair. See? Now I'm on my chair, or I can be on my elbows here. Okay? And do everything from here or from here. I'm using my back. I'm using my core. I'm using my shoulders. I'm using my neck. I'm using my legs. Everything. Take a big deep breath. I'm going to put my toes down, push into my pad that's on my chair. So use your little pillow on your chair. Push, come up to a standing, step back into your heels. Then I'm going to act like I'm going to go back down again. See here? But I'm not. I'm going to come back up. Step back into place. Push into my elbows. Step back. Then I come back in, go into a assisted squat. Then I'm going to act like I'm going to come down with my knees, but I'm not. And I do this, if I even do this 10 times, let me tell you, your core takes a hit. All your shoulder muscles take a hit, which is what we want in our mobility training. One more. Breath. Come back. Now push into the elbows, push into the heels, and you're up.